Hi guys, so today I'm doing a follow-up video to the video I made last year in 2017 all about what happened when I gave up alcohol. So it's been officially a year that I have been without any drink, over a year now. I made the decision in 2017 to completely not drink for an entire year, go sober for the whole year. So I wanted to do a follow-up to let you guys know how that year went, if I'm going to be continuing it, and just giving you an update because I received an overwhelming amount of support and messages from you guys after that video. Those of you who have dealt with alcohol addiction, who are trying to give it up, or who have gone over binge drinking, similar things to me that I mentioned in my last video. So I wanted to just, give you some advice and the pros and cons basically of what happened in the last year of being sober. So I've been sober officially a year now. So in 2017, it was my New Year's resolution to give up alcohol completely. The year before that, in 2016, I'd sort of made a decision to not drink as much. And when I was drinking, I'd only have maybe like 1 or 2 glasses of wine. But for me, it really just didn't work because once I've had a few glasses of wine, I want a few more. So that's why I made the decision in 2017 to give it up completely. And my history with alcohol is one of binge drinking from a young age. I started drinking from when I was about 15, maybe younger, and I carried on the binge drinking lifestyle into university, which a lot of us do, or a lot of my friends did at the time. And I kind of just continued the binge drinking over into the year after I finished uni. So in 2015, I moved in with some friends and we continued the partying lifestyle. And I think something snapped in me in 2016 and I realised I didn't want to be doing it anymore. I acknowledged the impact it was having, the negative impact it was having, the money I was spending, how it wasn't making me feel any better. I wasn't getting a job, I was unemployed, or at least I only had a part-time job doing something I really hated. A lot of it was rooted in my consumption of alcohol and me wanting to sort of drown my sorrows in a weekend of binge drinking. So that brings me to today, and it's January now. A lot of you might be doing dry January, and if you haven't heard of dry January, you basically just go sober for the month of January, and it doesn't matter, I know it's like the second week of January now, so it doesn't matter if you haven't begun yet, just start now, and for the next month, give it a go. Why not try going sober? I think that if you've come to this video, then maybe it's something that would be good for you. And I received a lot of messages on my last video basically asking me, how do I do it? How do I give up alcohol? So there obviously isn't a one size fits all, everyone's different, but my best advice is to find a reason why. Why do you want to give up alcohol? For me, it was because I knew that it was not improving my life. I wanted to get healthier. I wanted to find and pursue a job that I enjoyed. I wanted to just let go of something that I knew was controlling me in a way. I didn't want to have that kind of hold over me. I wanted to be free from that, and that was a huge motivator, and that in itself allowed me to go full force into being sober. For you, it might be because you want to build closer relationships with your loved ones. You might want to get fit and healthy, and alcohol is stopping you from doing that. Whatever it is, or if it's a deeper thing and it's something that's really just making you very upset and depressed, figure out what it is, write it down, ask yourself why, and just focus on that, and read it every day if you need to. Finding the why for your goal and your motive, like what you want to do, is probably the biggest step. And if you are dealing with serious alcohol addiction, then please seek help. There is absolutely no reason why you should be dealing with this alone. Talk to a loved one, talk to a friend, talk to a doctor, and get the help that you need. So I thought I'd start off with the cons first because I want to get them over with, because there aren't as many cons as there are pros. The first con, I think, was it being difficult for me to begin with social situations. I had to have that period of time where I got used to going out with friends and not being a part of the drinking, and I know that a lot of you have said this to me, that you find it hard to go out with friends and not drink because that's what you're used to, and there is that adjustment period. I did find it a little bit tricky. But I think what helped me was just kind of distancing myself from that lifestyle. I stopped clubbing, I stopped partying, and I started to spend time with friends in a different context. I started to just hang out with them in the daytime, have dinner with them, go around to the house, go out for a walk. When it comes to social situations, it may be tricky, and it was difficult for me. There were a couple times that I did find it a little bit awkward to be the only one not drinking, and I'd end up getting more tired, and I would kind of get irritated with people because they were being drunk and disorderly. But it's something you just have to get used to, and that just takes time. So the second thing is that those social situations changed. I wasn't relying on alcohol anymore to have fun, and I wasn't partying. And that was kind of difficult in some ways, because I look back at those memories as fond memories and I want to be a part of that. But also, again, it wasn't that tricky because I am 25 and a lot of my friends have grown out of that period of their life anyway, just like I have. And I didn't have to miss out too much. The third thing is pressure from others. I did definitely feel the pressure. I think for me, because I had the year sober and the year before that I had a year of kind of not drinking as much, it was less difficult for me because I gradually eased my way into it. But there were occasions when it would be a celebration or everyone's having champagne and I would say no, and people would say, but why? Why can't you just have one drink? Like, what does it matter? And it's not necessarily that they're trying to be mean or they're trying to bully you or anything. It's just what they're used to. They are used to, my friends and family were used to me drinking and being a part of that camaraderie, and that's the way people connect. People connect over drink and food, and if you say no to that, it can be hard. People get offended, and it's not necessarily their fault. It's just how humans interact in modern days. So that did make a couple of occasions awkward, but they were so few and far between, it really didn't bother me. So the fourth thing is getting asked a lot of questions. Every time I'm in a social situation with new people and they don't know that I don't drink, it tends to get brought up and people ask, oh, so why did you give it up? Or if I see friends who I haven't seen in a while and they haven't heard about me not drinking, then they're like, oh, why are you not drinking? And it is a little bit awkward to begin with, but in all honesty, it actually opens up a conversation with people, and most people can understand and relate, because I think a lot of people have had bad experiences with alcohol. A lot of people understand when it's made you hungover, when it's made you feel crap, or you've done things you regret. So generally people get it and they're like, oh, okay, that's really cool. Like, and honestly, those are all the cons that I can think of. As you may have noticed, they all derive from social situations and other people and pressure from other people, which makes me realize that my decision was the right decision, because I'm doing it for me, not for anybody else. And all it causes is a few conversations and maybe a few switches in how I interact with my friends. And that is not that big of a deal. So the pros, the first big thing is no more hangovers. I've mentioned this, but I don't have to wake up the next day after drinking a load of alcohol feeling like crap and sleeping in and just wanting to eat everything that is unhealthy in sight. I do not miss them at all. The second thing, and it's probably one of the biggest things, is just having time to focus on myself. That was a motivator for me when I gave up alcohol. I had started up a career on YouTube, and that is my full-time job now, and I don't think I would have achieved that had I still been drinking alcohol. I've had so much time to focus on myself, my career, my goals, and that is invaluable and priceless to me. The next thing is the fact that I don't binge on foods after I drink loads of alcohol anymore. I used to have an eating disorder, and I truly believe now in hindsight that my alcohol consumption and my binge drinking was a huge part of my eating disorder. It was hugely tied into it, because I would binge drink and then I would eat loads of junk food and it would make me feel like crap. Not having that urge to eat loads of junk food and just binge out on foods that are just gonna make me feel like crap has been a huge benefit. I've also let go of a lot of my insecurities. This is kind of a weird one, because you'd think that when you're drinking, you let go of your insecurities because you've not got any inhibitions. But actually it's the other way around, because I think I've had more time to focus on me. I've not been kind of forgetting about my problems by sort of having a glass of wine when I'm stressed. I have the time to focus on what's troubling me and actually deal with it. And I think that's something I only realized when I gave it up, that if I was having a stressful day or if I was having a hard time, I'd have some wine, or if someone's upset me, I think, right, it's the weekend, let's get drunk. And I don't have that anymore, so instead of drowning my sorrows, I actually face the problem and try and fix it and figure out why I feel that way. It has definitely also had a really positive impact on my personal relationships, especially with my boyfriend. We used to argue when we'd get drunk, and I'd end up having a go at him for something that was really insignificant, and he'd argue back. So we just don't have that part of our relationship before. We were kind of shocked how when I stopped drinking, how much less arguing we were doing, and a lot of it was just fueled by alcohol. I also feel so much healthier. Alcohol just makes you feel unhealthy, or it used to make me feel very unhealthy. And as I mentioned, I'm not like binging out on crap food on a regular basis, on a weekly basis. I also just feel better mentally because I am clearer in my head. I'm not forgetting things, I'm not feeling regret, I'm not feeling sad, and it just overall has improved all of my physical and mental health. It's also given me so much more time. I am not now wasting my evenings and the next day drinking and being hungover. So I have literally more days in the week to spend pursuing activities and passions of mine. So I've ended up being able to travel, build new friendships, work on my spirituality, work on my career. And I've had a lot of introspection and growth over the last year that I think would not have happened if I was still drinking. Another huge pro is saving money. Before, I would spend more on alcohol than I would on food, I'd say. Probably, yeah, definitely. I've been able to just live a much more comfortable lifestyle with money. I'm not wasting it on drink, and I've been able to save, I've been able to travel, I've been able to spend money on things that actually improve the quality of my life rather than just wasting it away. And finally, it has really dramatically switched my focus. My focus has gone from kind of complaining and moaning and being negative and wallowing to trying to improve and get better and be more positive and productive. And I think a huge part of that has been giving up alcohol, because I was always in this cycle of just kind of trying to work hard, trying to improve, but then something going wrong and then drinking and then starting back at the beginning again. Now I have that kind of constant moving forwards and trying to figure things out and just doing better and being better and having just a more healthy mindset. So I really hope you enjoyed that video and that little update on my sober year. If any of you are going through any struggles, then please get some help, and I will leave some links in the description below for those of you who are struggling. I highly recommend you give Dry January a go, even if it's the second week in January now. Just start now and see how it makes you feel. I'm pretty sure that by the end of your month of sober, you will feel so much better. Yeah, let me know your story with alcohol, how it makes you feel, if you've given it up. Let's kind of help each other and give some support in the comments down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.